can't say I
that
can't
was
believe
good.
it. It was kind
That
of
sounded
it,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You
It
know that
was like-
sound that
Yes.
M.
Oh.
M. Mom!
Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be very Delta.
I'm Delta Work, and my throat was abused. And this is Very Delta, a luxury public access podcast and talk show where I look gorgeous, speak extemporaneously, and invite fascinating people to sit on the couch and get Very Delta. Very Delta is for the woman who knows that in this life there are two kinds of people, and both should be avoided. Today's guest loves a tangent. Representing Gen Z as the People's Princess, it's the one and only Tanner Devore.
Hello, Delta.
Hi.
It's so good to meet you.
I'm so glad you're here.
Me too. Oh my
and
gosh.
you are beribboned.
Yes. Come on,
You are
shoot cute.
I love it. I love it.
We were just talking about bows and the idea of like pre-tied bows for the nice arthritic hands. How it's
Right.
really nice to have like a step. I don't think that's lazy. I think that's just like
I like it.
gorgeous. Just pop them right on. Like, come on.
You know, I was sort of, I remember, I want to say 90s, early 2000s. I remember this creator named Sandra Lee, and she was known as for Sandra Lee's Semi-Homemade.
Ooh.
And so her whole thing was like, I'm going to make something. Let me take the tedious parts out of it. So it would be like, you don't really have to make your own pie crust if you don't want to. You can make
Oh.
the pie, but let's take out the things that kind of aren't necessary.
I'm obsessed with that. That's like the
I
pizza
love it.
nights when you do pizza nights and you have the pre-made crust,
Yes.
and then you can put, you know, it's like uncrustable. Like what's the
Right.
what it was called? The pizza make your own.
Like the
Lunchables.
Lunchables. Yeah.
Yes, it's like a big Lunchable pizza. No, I
Right.
love that.
Do you know John Hill? John Hill has a Sirius XM show. And if anybody out there doesn't know John Hill, he has a Sirius XM show and he loves an Uncrustable. This is what you mentioned at first.
Mm-hmm.
But he warms his Uncrustables by putting them underneath his balls when he drives. And he offered one to me the last time I saw him. But his producer, Sarah, said to me, you might be careful about those because he warms them in a special way.
Oh, it is very special.
It is special. And it's kind of from the heart in a way.
Very much.
Yeah.
Very much. That's a very sacred space. I feel like the girls that use Uncrustables as a bra filler, I really, really love a girl like that.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, and then you get a little snack at after
Right.
the gig. Like that's really like you're planning ahead.
Yeah.
No, I love that.
We obviously I don't eat at Chick-fil-A anymore.
Yes.
But
course.
I remember the first time I ever had a Chick-fil-A sandwich was out of a drag queen's bra. Yeah.
Was it better?
Well, I think it's all I knew. And it was from her heart and it stayed warm.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I will say Chick-fil-A, there's something really funny happening there, especially at the locations, Southern California.
Uh-huh.
A lot of LGBT employees.
That's what I say. I see it and I hear it.
And honestly, I love an undercover boss. I love an undercover mission. Like they're trying to overthrow it from the inside out, eat more
Mhm.
chicken, you know, get the chicks in, throw the chicken. Like I get it. But yeah, it's very interesting. When you
Yeah.
pull up to the drive-thru and they come up to the car and they like rest their head on your.
Oh, yes. A moment.
Yeah. And Dutch Brothers does that too. Dutch Brothers, the coffee chain, their whole MO about sales is they want as like much chemistry, borderline sexual tension
Mhm.
that you can have with the bro, I guess they're
Uh-huh.
called. Bro-ristas, I think.
Brorista.
Which
I
sounds like
love
a
this.
Scooby-Doo word, but like I
Uh-huh.
love it, right? But they will come up to the window and they'll be like, hi, oh, love your shirt. How are you doing? Oh, what a smart order. You're so clever. I'm
Oh,
like,
see, I need that.
I know.
I need that validation.
oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's like they're all kind of like young too. So there's like a, you know, because they're doing it with like my mom, because my mom will be in like the driver's seat, you know, whatever.
Mhm.
And she's going through and she's like, hi. And they're like, hello, young lady. And I'm like,
Here we go.
college freshman, like throwing it down on my mom, which like my mom is a listener of Very Delta also. Like she
Is
was
she?
freaking out. Your
I love
Coles
that.
episode about Coles being a ghost town. She's like, you would have thought you were saying gospel. Like she put her
But it
hands up.
feels so true. See, and that's what I love about you is I love, and I've always said this to people because people say I love Diet Coke. If somebody doesn't love Diet Coke, people go, oh, you must hate that they love Diet Pepsi. I don't hate that. I love people who have an opinion and then they tell me what they like
Yeah.
and then I can run with that and I can know. So I love that you have specific opinions about specific things and generationally, like we're so different,
Yeah,
but we can see things through similar eyes because we know what we want.
I know.
You know what you want.
Yes.
And I love it.
Yes. I had a professor in college, and I had so many, I was one of those people I really got along with my English teachers. Can't tell right there. But I really get along with my English teachers growing up. And they were always younger and fresh out of college. And I always felt like that was my bond.
Mm-hmm.
I got into college and I had a couple professors, queer professors too, which was amazing. And they were pushing 60 almost.
Mm-hmm.
And there would be certain of my classmates that would come in and they would be like, oh, I don't have anything to relate. I just oh my God, he just doesn't get it. He doesn't get how the world works anymore. And I always was I need to find the common thread. One, because I need to pass this class.
Sure.
And two, because I want to really get that. I don't want to say it's ageism, but you know how it is where you discredit people's opinions if they're not the same generation as you or whatever. And honestly, I found so much common thread with my older professors and things like that. I grew up really hanging out with my mom's friends and her coworkers, and I'd be the honorary person at the wine night, but I feel that old connection, it's really nice to let yourself find common thread with anyone.
Sure.
That sounded really life-changing speech right there, but you know what I mean?
No, it's true. And I think you observe people. See, those are my favorite kind of people, are people who people watch and they look at, how is this happening? Why are they having this conversation this way? And then you digest it. And as much as people like to say stereotypes are not true,
Yeah.
I think in many ways people don't like stereotypes because they kind of are true. They kind of are in many ways. And because we're creatures of habit.
100%.
Right?
100%.
You're somebody, I know you've spent time in Southern California for school. You're not necessarily from here or always here. Do you have certain expectations, like you mentioned, when it comes to Chick-fil-A here in Southern California, but fast food differences from different parts of the country?
Oh, absolutely. What's really interesting, so I lived in Arizona for a little while. Arizona was never a sit inside and talk place.
Okay.
Anywhere.
Okay.
Back home, I'm from Central Illinois, Southern Illinois. You could sit in Dairy Queen and have a life-changing conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You could sit in anywhere and have a life-changing conversation. I felt even the coffee shops and stuff, you just saw so many people talking and you talk to your neighbor and everything. Arizona, it's about getting your food, ingesting the food as quickly as possible and going home.
Okay.
And I thought that's so interesting because I didn't really realize so much of the Midwest culture is about making such a spectacle about where we go, and it's being friendly to your neighbor, and it's just not the case there. I guess food is a lot more survival, eating it and going. You've said that you're more of a get the car in the drive-through. Are you more of a eat in the car person? Per se?
Usually, if I do go to a drive-through, it's because I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
So I will eat it in the car. I don't like to eat inside fast food restaurants usually.
Okay.
But I will at a Farmer Boys. What is it? I will eat at Farmer Boys just because I feel it's more set up for that. When I was in the Midwest recently, I ate inside of a Culver's.
Oh, okay. There we go. And that's blurring the line because, to be fair, I would not eat inside a Taco Bell. I would do drive-through or take it home.
Right.
Or DoorDash, unfortunately. But Culver's, you can have a really good time in a Culver's.
I loved it.
Isn't it amazing?
I loved it. Any place that's going to have cheese curds, I'm available.
Yes.
I used to listen to, and still do sometimes, the true crime podcast from the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Company. And they were the best. And I only say that I don't listen to them as much only because I feel I've exhausted all of them.
Oh.
So when I do listen again, I'm just re-listening.
You've solved every case.
Exactly. But they always talk about going to Tim Hortons and they call it Timmy's. And so what you're talking about makes sense because they'll say, let's meet at Timmy's for a coffee. And a lot of these podcasters would do interviews with people at the Timmy's because it's a common ground.
Yeah, you know that
comfortable.
When in the movies and in the crime TV shows, when there's a fire or something happened and the victim always steps out and they put the little blanket on her.
Yes.
And she gets the coffee. I feel like her.
Yes.
When I'm in a coffee shop that can really provide that. But there's such a thing now where the coffee shops are stripping the seats and it's about the mobile order and it's about taking it to go. And I do miss that crime scene victim blanket over my shoulder, cup of coffee. let's take on the day. Like I miss that feeling and I can't get that as many coffee shops anymore.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I really do miss that. Like I remember like in the mornings too, I would always be late to school because I would take my little moment and I'd go in and get my coffee and I just sit in there a little bit and like check on my phone a little bit before I got to school. I needed that. I really needed that like buffer to the day, like just to start, get my head on straight before I went to school. I don't know. That was like such a sacred thing to me.
If you get your a coffee at like a coffee shop, what are your modifications? What's your order?
Okay, I am oat milk believer. But the
Okay.
thing is, I'm wondering if I really even need to anymore.
Okay.
I thought it was like an IBS, like relate. Are we like IBS friends of the pod? Are you?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
We're getting there.
available for all conversation.
Hello. Like I feel like I blamed it on the dairy, blame it on the alcohol, but I realized I think it's more of a gluten thing for me. So I've stopped doing the oat milk.
And how does your system feel now? Any different?
I cut gluten and I feel much better.
Really?
Yes. It's really weird.
Less
'cause
bloating, they say.
Less bloating. And honestly, like so much of what I have issues with, I get like stress induced thing. Like it's anxiety of the ass. I really didn't want to talk about this today.
Well, I wanted you to. I wanted you to go there with me.
But isn't it crazy? Like it's crazy how even just like a lot on your mind like can just throw your ass out of order.
I've wondered if that's the case for me as well. If it's stress or anxiety. I think it's a little bit of everything.
Yes.
I mean, I ask a lot out of this body. I really ask a lot.
You know what?
And I don't know how it still keeps going. I don't. I give it every reason to give up.
But you respect it at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I disrespected my throat. You can hear it. Yeah.
But honestly, sometimes we got to do that. And you just apologize to her later. She's a trooper. She'll keep going.
Let me ask you this. What makes you a Disney adult?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Here's the thing. I love thematic experiences.
Okay.
I love going to a house party that they really committed to the theming. I love going somewhere where there's Christmas lights and you can grab your hot cocoa and go to Hallmark. Disney is one of the only places anymore that do the theme, smell-o-vision, look-o-vision, feel-o-vision. Like it's so like there and it's so visceral. And like I feel like Disney for me is like, sure, it's like escapism, but even when my life is going good, like I just love that I can go there and I feel like I'm in a different bubble.
Okay.
That is the extent of it for me. I do not have a goofy tramp stamp.
Okay, none of that.
Yet. But like there is nothing like getting some drinks at DCA, Disney California Adventure.
Okay.
Going to Cars Land, Route 66. So you're like off the martinis and Tomater goes by.
And you're living.
I have goosebumps just thinking about it. Like, I think it's one of those things, like, too, it's like really interesting. The Tomater, it's like a car that moves on its own. And you really forget that there's like someone in it, like, doing the Tomater.
Can you get in it?
No, because that would kind of be like killing him.
How many drinks would it take to get in him?
Isn't that the question about everything?
I know.
Tomater,
this is the ass anxiety.
It is the ass anxiety. For Tomater, oh, he's charming. 3.
I think I feel like 3 goes either way. You could still be level, but you could still like, it's like too young, like too old to know better, too young to care.
Yes. I'm getting to the point now where I'm realizing my tolerance is a lot lower than it used to be.
Okay.
And the drinks are getting more and more like borderline illegal, they feel like. I don't know. Like have you had like a buzzball before?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. Delta.
What is that?
Delta. We should
tell me.
Buzzballs on the pod. I know. I feel like I'm like doing government secrets. A buzzball, I want to say, is like a 13% small cocktail beverage, if you want to call it a cocktail.
And it looks like a ball.
It's a little ball. It looks like a little grenade.
And these are at Disneyland.
No.
These are wherever.
They're in the parking lot before Disneyland.
This is a pregame.
But it's a pregame for sure. But it's like one of those things that I've realized that like if I don't eat properly, if I don't prep properly, like if I'm not really ready to go, like a buzzball or a beatbox, like alcohol now and the way I'm doing it takes me to a place that like only few have been.
I always used to think when I was much younger that you could drink more, like your tolerance level was higher based on your size.
Oh, totally.
And I don't know that that's always true because I can consider kind of a lightweight when it comes to that because it doesn't take much for me. And when I am inebriated, everything is so hilarious to me.
Oh.
2 things happen. all I do is laugh at everything, or I need to have a heart-to-heart with everyone. I need to have a heart-to-heart with everyone about something.
I'm a big crier.
Are you?
Big crier. I love
Emotions.
that. I love that. And I love when you can really sit down with somebody and like really speak to something that they don't talk about unless they're trash. And like, I'm honestly like, I'm a pretty open book, but I feel like getting other people out of their comfort zone is like one of my favorite things.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It's something really, I feel like the flight instructor that like you hand everybody the parachutes. I'm like, okay, listen, welcome to Drunkville. Now we can all open up and be like vulnerable together. Like, I don't know. It's really cool. Like to me, that's like true strength is people that can really like lay it all out and then keep going.
No, that's very true. That's very true. I want to come back to that. Let's take a break. Your underwear should be on your team. Mine absolutely was not. I was constantly readjusting, dealing with things riding up, the whole chaotic situation. Then I found MeUndies Ball Caddy Boxer Briefs. They've got a contoured pouch that actually keeps things where it's supposed to be. No squishing, no sticking, no awkward moments. The fabric is this ultra soft modal that feels broken in from the first wear, and it's breathable so you're not overheating all day. That's why I genuinely love MeUndies. I have worn them, I wear them, and I finally get the hype. First of all, there's truly a style for everybody. They have over 10 different cuts, from classic boxer briefs to jock straps, and of course the iconic ball caddy pouch underwear that keeps everything exactly where it needs to be. No chaos, no shifting, just support. Now let's talk about comfort. Their signature ultra modal fabric is softer than soft. It's breathable, stretchy, and feels broken in from the first wear. I have worn them for long days, busy days, lazy days, and they hold up every time. I also love that they are responsibly sourced. They use sustainable materials and partner with manufacturers who actually care about their workers. We love comfort with conscience. And with over 30 million pairs sold, there's a reason many people are making the switch. I love them, and I know you will too. Right now, as a listener of my show, you can get 20% off your first order, plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/VeryDelta, promo code VeryDelta. That's 20% off, plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/VeryDelta, promo code VeryDelta. Do you know what is VeryDelta? Factor. Spring is here. I'm booked, I'm busy, and I do not have time to saute. Factor meals are fresh, never frozen, and ready in 2 minutes. I've been obsessed with the shredded chicken taco bowl, juicy taco seasoned chicken, black beans, brown rice, roasted corn salsa, jalapeno cheddar sauce, and a creamy cilantro crema moment. It's giving flavor, it's giving balanced, it's giving, I cooked, but I absolutely did not. No refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no seed oils, just quality ingredients, high protein options, calorie smart choices, even Mediterranean and GLP-1 support. And they rotate over 100 meals, so I never get bored. If you want food that fits your goals and your schedule, Factor is VeryDelta. I love Factor, and I know you will too. Head to factormeals.com/VeryDelta50 off and use code VeryDelta50 off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Eat like a pro this month with Factor. New subscribers only, varies by plan. 1 free breakfast item per box for 1 year while subscription is active. We are back with Tanner Devore. We were talking about social media in itself because we're generationally also in an overlap of social media. And I feel like there is this space where, say I bring up Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. In my mind, please don't hate me, I feel like Facebook could be, without using an insulting term, just a term in the zeitgeist, I feel like Facebook is a boomer place. I feel like Instagram might be largely a Gen X place. Mm-hmm. And I feel like TikTok is a Gen Z place, maybe a millennial sort of place. But because I feel like a lot of people that are on Facebook need to be super verbose about
a whole novel,
single thing.
Yes.
I feel like Gen Z people want to get to the point, want to let you know what's happening. This is what it is. This is where it is. We got to get it's not rude. It's the way a generation communicates.
Yes.
And then Gen X people are like, and that's me, I need you to see it. I need you to hear it. I need you to get all these little pieces of information. There's your receipts. Fuck off. I don't know if that's necessarily true or not. I mean, I see it in the way. And then Twitter is, I feel like that. I mean, X. I feel like it's a weird place for anybody. I mean, I had it for a long time before it was ever X. And I remember I had to go away because there was like a character limitation. And I was like, I talk too much.
Yep.
I can't do it.
Oh my gosh. And then the girls that do, they tweet and then they reply with the tweet and then they reply with the tweet and then it ends up being the Facebook whole, it's the whole monologue. Oh my gosh. No, people will always on Facebook have a full MLA formatted essay work on everything. And then it's like, what's this about? And then you scroll down and it's like, share this post if you believe golden retriever need love. I'm like, yes. But then it's like, oh, when I had a golden retriever, he treated me like, and I believe that he did. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then the icing on the cake is the golden retriever in question is AI generated. And I think that's what always kills me is people get so up in arms on Facebook. And then the post that they're quoting is like Jesus walking on water. And it's like, he was seen. I'm like, right. But that was...
He was seen.
Like, yeah, he was seen. And, you know, a lot of the AI stuff, I really, especially if they are, you know, I'm friends with some of my grandparents' friends and stuff on Facebook. And if they share something AI generated, I don't have the heart.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. If it's my mom, I pull her to the side and I give her the courtesy of not calling her out. And I say, hey, honey, take that. That's not real. She goes, oh my God, really? I'm like, yes, take that down. If it is someone over the age of like, I want to say like, honest to God, like 65. Honey, just leave it up.
Yeah.
Yes, the dog did hug the kitty that way.
And I'm with you because I saw something and I'm a big, like, I love looking at memes.
Yes.
I don't even know who said this one, but I shared it recently. And it was telling your parents or someone older that something is AI is like telling a child that there's no Santa Claus. It feels that way.
It 100%
feels that way.
There was a trend for a while. Like, I really want to say it takes over Facebook, right? But Facebook people fall for it a lot easier. I feel like TikTok, I always see dogs ringing the doorbell of like the Ring camera.
Yeah.
And then they get the grenade launcher out and then they open the door and they're like, hello. And then the dog like shoots the grenade launcher. And I let out a chuckle and I'm like, oh my God, I'm no better.
Right.
You know, because it's not like I'm falling for it, but it's like I'm loving it. Like,
right.
I'm loving what I'm
and
seeing.
I'm watching it. I got addicted for like a week straight to these videos that I actually was kind of convinced were real until somebody was like, you know, this is impossible, right? It was people lined up in folding chairs in like maybe a conference room, sitting, staring at one another, sometimes blindfolded, sometimes not. And a dog would come in and the dog would find out and it would go up to one person and put its head on their lap and they would go, that abandoned animal selected you as their next owner. And I thought, oh my God, this is real. And I really thought maybe that's like a thing that they do. They consent. You know, listen, Tanner, don't fucking laugh at me because I believed it.
Real.
I wanted it to be so real. And then somebody was like, these are fucking AI videos. Those are their owners. They're walking in and they can smell their owner. They live with them. That's not a pet that they never knew.
Not that the pet backstage is like, okay, I'm going to select him. I'm really excited. Like, let me put my ears back. I'm going to select.
Not pin my ears back.
I'm going to select
in a clip.
Yes.
But I really did.
I really hope he's out there. I'm going to pop a greenie in and then go and find my future owner.
Papa Greenie.
I love that though. I really wish that was real.
And I think maybe at some point, maybe there was a video where that actually happened in the sense that maybe all these people had fostered the animal and it's like, which one does it go to?
Totally.
So maybe that there was an impetus for that. But then,
do you communicate through dogs in the meme scape?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I will use dog smiling as my reaction picture or like my text response. It's like my friend says, I'm on my way. I'll send like a dog like dancing or something.
Okay.
And like, you know, somebody's like, oh, I'm really stressed. I'll send like a dog like nervous or whatever. Like I really communicate through dog.
Do you ever accidentally, like, I don't know what you would send to a friend, but I definitely have things that I send to people that I'm like, I could only send this to this person because it is so awful.
100%.
If somebody else sees this, we're in trouble.
Oh, 100%. Like, I think we're all guilty of doing the classic, like, screenshotting someone's story.
Right. Have you ever screenshot somebody's like message to you and then sent it right back to them and you were like, oh my God.
100%. 100%. And what I usually do is I'm just like, sorry, phone glitch.
Oh, you just say that?
Yeah.
I
don't know if they buy it, but they're like, oh, okay, no worries. I mean, if I sent the follow-up comment,
right.
Look what this motherfucker, like, then I'm in the doghouse, you know? But like,
I guess that's true.
I don't know. That's the thing. I feel like a lot of times if you call someone, if you get a text and you're like really fucked off about it and you call someone to describe the text, it does not convey what is actually going on.
Right.
If they read the text themselves, they're coming to their own opinions unbiased. Because if I read it and it's like, come into work today, we hate you, that's not really what it said, right?
Right.
But if the text just says, come in today, period, and I send it to someone and they're like, oh yeah, that had a tone, I feel so validated.
Yeah, I found myself not using LOL because a couple of reasons. I'm never really laughing out loud.
Oh, ever.
And also, you heard what I said, and I'm not laughing about it. You heard what I said, and I'm not trying to be like that bitch. None of us are. It's just when you read the message back to yourself, I'm not going to say like, what time are you coming over? Laughing out loud. Because when I see you laughing out loud, like I'm not never doing that. I want it to read the way I'm speaking in person,
100%.
just as you
like
said.
Over. Like
yeah.
Airport, like walkie-talkie.
Right.
Okay. Over and out. Over.
Right.
Message delivered. Received. They say, got it. We'll be there. Got it. Over. Some things need that.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely.
Are there any small fish that you need to fry when it comes to communication or planning, anything like that? Anything that's been on your mind that really could be fried?
I'm having a personal battle with this, but also I'm noticing it in so many people. And you know when you notice something about somebody and you can never get the fuck over it, and it's the first thing you notice all the time, and it can be a best friend. I have noticed I really do not like when everything that I bring up receives a personal antidote from someone else
Okay.
that they have also experienced
Okay.
that thing. Or, okay, I get relation, I get whatever. But if it's like, oh, I had a really good coffee today. Oh my gosh, me too. I just had a really good coffee last week. You know what? I had a really good walk today and I cleared my mind. Yes, you know how I clear my mind? I take a bath. Drain the tub. Like, I really don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I'm sorry, but this was like my personal moment. Like, this was my moment, right? I was like, I wanted to share something with you. I brought that to you for a reason. And I think I didn't bring that to be hearing what your personal spin or version is. It's like sometimes I'm just saying something to receive that you heard me.
Right.
That you validated, that you're just like, wow, that is an interesting experience that you had today. I love when someone can relate to something, but when they are purposely like that. I had a really good coffee today. You know what? I did too.
It's almost a one-up in a way, maybe.
Have you noticed that? Like,
I have. And because I like, when you're sharing any of these stories, I want to hear more about it. So I don't know if it's that thing that like the bird theory. I don't know if you've heard of that, where people are like, I saw a bird today. Well, tell me about it. Like, I want to hear every bit of it. So if you said to me, I love strawberries and cream, Dr. Pepper. Well, how do you like it? How do you want it?
yes.
Have you had it on ice cream? Like, I want to hear all of that because I already know if I like it or not.
I already know my experience.
Even if I don't like it.
Yes.
And I know that you're that passionate about it. The next time I see you, I want to make sure that I have it available for you just because I love knowing you're happy. Man, we're living in a time where like the pendulum has swung in this place and it's stuck there. And we're looking at each other like we're used to it going like this, especially politically and socially. We're
100%.
used to it going, oh, conservative, oh, a little more liberal, oh, a little more conservative, a little more liberal. Now it's just in this frightening place. And as much as we all want to say like, I don't shop at this place, I don't do this, I don't platform this, I don't do that. We're also alive in the world and we're like, I don't know. I can't shop local every time. I don't have the money for it. I can't not go get my prescription at this place because if I don't, my insurance won't cover it somewhere. I have to do what I have to do. So if we're able to take pleasure in the smallest things, that being just like celebrating our friends or letting them do their thing. And so if it's you saying like, I want to tell you about the bird I saw, tell me everything about it. Tell me
100%.
everything.
100%.
What's it going to hurt me?
I think there's almost a fear that some people have too, that if you get too wrapped up in those things, that you're losing sight of the big picture. You're
Right.
losing sight of the things that matter. But I think we have to have time for making little shit matter, making
Yeah.
little shit that makes us happy matter. I mean, shit, stuff moves so fast now. I feel like you log out for 2 days and you lose, sight of
Yeah.
everything, which is crazy. But I don't think we were ever meant to be this hyper aware and hyper, stuck on things outside of our own lives.
It's tough because I feel like as people who, whether you're a famous actor or a famous dancer, or you're a small creator, or you have a podcast, everybody has a podcast, right? Everybody has a podcast. But I feel like everybody has something to say.
Yeah.
But with all of that comes something, again, like a comment section where we are all, as creators, held to this standard where it's like, I need you as a creator to have the knowledge that a lawyer would have. And you better have the receipts a lawyer would have. You better know what a doctor knows. You better know what a lawmaker knows. And so you platform a topic or a subject, or you speak off the cuff, and people are like, why didn't you know more about every single thing that ever entailed that? How could you even share an opinion if you didn't know everything? And you're like, I don't know. I purposely tell people the truth of this show is, for the most part, we talk about what people's favorite chips are. I know that I'm not well-versed enough to make law. I can vote. I can encourage other people to do the same thing, but I couldn't explain. It took me a long time, and this is real tea. It took me a long time to even understand why AI was damaging in all of its ways.
Yeah.
I pretended to know, but I didn't know. And I thought to myself, you're doing yourself a disservice by pretending. Why don't you just admit to not knowing and then figure it out and ask the people who do know? Because you're just going to be better off by saying, all right, I know. It's really
We've
hard.
made the word ignorance have a lot of weight behind it. And I agree that, yes, there are people that are ignorant and there is so much weight to that word, right? But also admitting ignorance about things, it's really empowering, to be honest.
It's just saying I don't know.
Absolutely. And it allows you, that's when our job is sometimes just to sit back and let other people explain, let other things. And I love opening up, especially my platform, to people that do know.
Yeah.
And shutting the fuck up and listening. I think that's a huge trait that just as much talking as we all do, there's so much power in listening. And like, I had a friend my freshman year that she told me that sometimes the best thing you can do is lead with your ears. And I think that now that we're in paths that are so based on meeting people and connections and meeting people where they're at, you have to be leading with your ears, and you have to be leading with the idea of, I understand that your experiences were different than mine, and I'm excited about that. Like, I'm excited to hear that. And I don't know, that's been such a beautiful thing, because growing up in such an echo chamber in such a small town, different was really scary. And I think when you accept that difference is the strength, that was a huge shift for me.
Sure.
I think it's, honest to God, been the backbone of everything I've done in my career.
Yeah.
Is finding the unifiers, but also paying attention to different points of view and learning from those.
That makes so much sense. Tell me about an iced tea truck.
I went to an iced tea truck in my hometown that I mean, I'm like comfortable platforming, but also I really am surprised I gave my money to the truck. It was called Sweet Tea and Jesus.
Okay.
And, you just brought that from like the depths of my memory, but it was tea so sweet that I, honest to God, thought I had to prick my finger after I finished it.
Oh, it was there.
It was there.
It was metformin pills.
Like, I got a little dizzy. And, honest to God, I will say something very controversial. I'm in my own kind of experience with like figuring out what religion and spirituality mean to me, right? It felt really good when I paid and he said, he thanks you. I'm like, who's he? Like,
Who
the mob
is
boss?
he?
Oh no, honey, it was he.
Capital HIM.
Thanked me for my $3.75 purchase of mango sweet tea that day. Like, damn, I didn't know he was checked in like that.
Right.
Like,
He's
damn.
aware.
No,
He's
yeah,
aware.
he was very thankful. And I mean, he supports commerce, and the economy. At least somebody cares. They're like, damn, it's like, but I was like, hey. But yeah, the sweet tea truck, it was sweet tea and Jesus. And I probably will be a returning patron.
What is your ideal iced tea?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm really new into Arnold Palmer's.
Okay.
Ain't got to reinvent the wheel, right?
There's
like,
nothing wrong with that.
No, right. I'm really new in Arnold Palmer's. And honestly, I like a natural sweetness from the lemonade more than I do the pumps.
You know what's interesting is like, you were saying you were new to that. And then in my mind, I'm immediately like, oh my gosh, I've had Arnold Palmer's like my whole life, but there wasn't always necessarily calling it that.
Yeah.
But then I think to myself, like, everything old is kind of new again. I remember for a moment, well, for my whole life, I have always loved a quarter zip sweater, right? There was a moment where people were like, ew, you old Costco man. That is so ugly. I cannot believe you would wear that. I remember when New Balance was considered gross and old, when Champion was the cheapest thing you could find. Generationally now, I see young, like vibrant, viable people wearing quarter zips, going outfit of the day, quarter zip, outfit of the day, New Balance. And I'm thinking to myself, I remember when that was ugly and now it's fierce. Guess what? It's new again and I love it. I love it.
Dirty New Balances and a quarter zip on the flight on the way here.
Not?
Like, I was really about it.
Find it again. Saying I'm new to an Arnold Palmer. Why can't you be? That's the thing. When it's so easy for other generations to go, oh, I already did that. I already know what that is. You're just catching up to me. Well, what the fuck? If somebody was just fucking born in 1999, did you think they had a time machine that went back to when we were younger? They have to experience it now. I've said this. I don't know if you're familiar with these two queens from Drag Race, Sugar and Spice.
Mm-hmm.
I love them.
The Social Girls.
I love them because I remember how much heat they took from people when they were on the show. People were like, oh, that's not real drag. That's not real drag because they're not in the bars. They're not here. They're not there. And I thought to myself, they're not in the bar because they don't have to be. They're showing us that there's a next step and we can go with them if we follow with our ears, if we lead with our ears, because they're showing us you can have a digital footprint too. Want to know how? We'll show you how. And because of them, they were able to open that door and they put their hands out like this. They put their hands out to me figuratively and they said, come Delta, if you step, we'll pull you. And they did. And because of them, I learned there was a place for me. I could be in the bar. If you want to be in the bar, be in the bar. I love being in the bar. But I also learned like, you could have a digital footprint too. And you can have a heavy one, bitch.
And not knowing what you're doing. Like, you learned and now you got it. And like, whatever. But I think it gives you too, like, an awareness. Like, so much of the resistance against it is because they're scared they don't know how to do it or can't get on that. And it's like, oh my gosh, there's space for everybody. Like, it's great. I love when someone starts recording or texts me and is like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a comedy channel. I'm like, oh my gosh, do it. Like,
do it.
How many people are in the fucking world?
Do it.
We got space for everybody.
There's space for everybody. Listen, I mean, there can't be, especially now, there can't be this divide generationally, especially when, especially here right now, technologically, so much overlaps.
Yeah.
And you have to be open to, like you're saying, being around older people, myself being around younger people, especially in the industry of doing drag, there was a point where at one point I was doing a show and I remember this go-go dancer said, oh, I love this song. You ever heard of that singer Madonna? And I thought, at first I laughed and I thought, why would he have known about her?
Yeah.
Why would he? If he's that young, what do I know about what's on the radio? Let me give you a list of 10 people. I bet you I can't do it. So there has to be this point where it's, I'll pull you up if you keep climbing and then you keep climbing and it's back and forth. And
I just started getting into bedtime stories. I just got into bedtime stories, one of my first listens. And it's crazy because it's like, I want to share that with my friends and then, whatever. But you're so right. I will probably come up to someone and be like, oh, I love bedtime stories. Like, oh, well, yeah, that's been around. You know what I mean? But it's like, oh, it's new for me. I'm excited.
Exactly. Why can't it be new for you?
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that. And if somebody is such a fan and they hear you say that, you would think they would go, oh my God, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What do you like? Do you love the visual? Do you love
Exactly.
the words? Do you love the new, like, what is it?
Welcome. Like, welcome to the club. And to what you're saying earlier about like the quarter zip and the New Balances, what's really funny is, yes, those were like known before and it's not new, but a lot of times they get brought up in, oh my gosh, side tangent. I saw a candle at Bath and Body Works and it was called Giving Clean House, or it was like Clean House Vibes or something like
Oh,
that.
I've seen it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the whole like, oh, it's green couch, it's Clean House vibes. A lot of people use the word vibes and then it brings those old things up where it's like, the idea of wearing a quarter zip and New Balances and a little glass is now like I'm JFK Jr. vibes. Like I'm this, like whatever. But it's like it introduces the aesthetic and it's not going, oh, this is from 1987
Right.
and this New Balance is from 1990, whatever. It's like, it just is the vibe.
Right. The essence of.
Yes. And I think that's so interesting because I've been very like on that lately where it's like, oh my gosh, when you wear like an oversized little like sweatshirt and you're like, I feel like Princess Diana right now. I'm just wearing a fucking oversized sweatshirt, but it's like, oh, I'm like bringing the essence of like.
Well, you hit on it. You hit on it earlier, which made so much sense when you were talking about the blankets.
Yes.
Right. And having the coffee or whatever. I always think of that moment, like, when it rains and you think of like a granola sort of woman with the Afghan outside going, ooh, we needed this. We needed this. And like rubbing her shoulders.
Nice fire pit.
Sometimes you want to talk to that person.
Oh.
Sometimes you think like when you see that in a movie or you see like just an image of it and you're like, that's the vibes.
Yep.
I want those vibes right now. That's what I feel. I want the soup vibes. I want to be protected. I want to smell the rain, see the rain. I don't want to experience it. I want to sit on a porch.
When you watch a movie, do you leave the movie theater with the essence of the movie?
Oh, all the
baked?
time. Yes.
So that. And what's crazy is sometimes I'll watch like a really like psychological thriller or whatever, and I leave the movie and I'm like something's wrong.
Yes,
like something
no, I know
is
what you
wrong.
mean.
That walk to the car, I'm like,
yes.
Like, and it's crazy. And then you watch the rom-com and you leave and you're like, oh, those silly kids. Like, you're so happy. But like, it's crazy how, even if just for the night, like, I love that. Sometimes there's certain movies, music videos, songs that I will listen to, especially before doing stand-up or before doing something that I know it's going to get me to the place. It's going to rub off on me, you know? Oh, I love that.
My friend Jose always like, we'll back and forth, like, maybe like a picture of like a car window and a person in a car window. And he's like us creating scenarios in our mind, like, like looking at our own private music video, like, oh, I'm lovelorn. I'm lost. I'm on my way to Paris. Like, but it's a thing.
With drag too. Okay. I've dabbled. Once or
I was
twice.
going to ask you. Yeah.
Once or twice. Right. And I think part of that, what you're talking about, the music video mindset, I love when you can listen to a song and you picture the performance in your head, or you picture what the entrance is going to be, or when you take off the coat, or when the glasses come down. Like that to me was the itch that I needed to scratch, was that contextualizing what the song means. And that's such a like cool thing to like actualize. And I loved like, especially during the pandemic when people were doing like music videos from their house, or like they were doing like drag performances, digital drag. That was so cool because it was like, fuck it. We're going to do like Janet Jackson in the setup with the green screen.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to have a bottle of water and I'm going to dump it on myself. It's like you brought the fantasy from what you heard and like saw in your mind when you heard the song.
Right.
I guess like, I don't want to be like talking about like the straight experience on here because obviously, I'm qualified, but not too qualified. But I feel like the straight experience, I don't know if they get to experience that. It's like, okay, yes, I love that song and I did a cheer routine to it in high school and these were the moves.
Right.
But were you walking down the street in a trench?
Oh, yeah.
To that song? Or were you, on the back of a car with a flag draped around you and the sparklers in the background? Like, what was the fantasy for you?
Did you do drag more than one time? Like many times?
Yeah.
And what was your drag name?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So it was Cowbell for a little bit.
Cowbell.
Yes, it was Cowbell for a little bit.
All as one, or cow and bell?
Honestly, for a little bit it was divided and I threw an E on the end, on the other end.
I like it.
At one point it was Magnetica Mugler because she was feeling really puss that night. And that was for a house party. That was the really fun thing. A lot of these were just at apartments.
Oh, even better.
I felt so much power come from that. Oh my gosh, it gave me such a like respect for myself in a way I didn't have before it.
That's so cool.
It was beautiful. And like honestly, like I've had a couple times in Chicago that I just like went out in drag. And I mean, it was really fun. And I was doing it nothing more different that night. I was just dancing or whatever. But I will say the one thing I'm obsessed with about the outside world, it's really for me. People like will hold your hand, get down the stairs and stuff.
It's so different, right?
They're like, oh, let me move your drink for you. I'll hold it. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then when it's just me going out, it's like, you can make it down the stairs.
No, it's very that. It's very
like,
that.
it was like very eye-opening. I don't know. And I love that. But no, I honestly, like the times I've done drag, it was like I just felt like, why not?
I don't think anyone's ever pointed that out to me, but now that you say that, it's so true. When you're in drag, people, and even people you engage with when you're in or out of drag who know you intimately, they do treat you differently.
Yeah, because I guess it's like an energy shift, but I guess I was carrying myself a lot more dainty that night, or that I looked so frail I couldn't make it down the stairs. I don't know what the perception was, but it was like I really felt like everyone had a hand on my back in a lot of ways.
I love it.
Yeah, and
maybe that's why I'm in drag all the time. Not because I need it, but because I'm so lazy. I want everyone to carry my hand everywhere.
It feels great.
How are you cracking this code?
No, I know. We're getting deep into it. I feel like I'm in a very psychological mood today. But honestly, like I think the thing about like getting in drag for me is I really wanted to be extremely aware while I was in it. I didn't want to get hammered. I got hammered later, but like but I felt like I wanted to be extremely aware of how I was being treated, how it felt, and just like what it shifted in me.
Sometimes you will be hammered in drag, and sometimes you'll be pounded. Let's take a break. We are back with Tanner Devore. Now, this is the part of the show we call Read Me Delta. People send in their letters, they have questions, they have queries, they are in predicaments, and maybe they want to go off on a tangent. So we listen, right?
I love that.
Read Me Delta!
Dear Delta and spicy guest, what happened to sizes? I want to ask you about sizing. Small, medium, large, extra large. I was at Cold Stone last night and their sizes are as follows. Like it, meaning small. Love it, meaning medium. Gotta have it, meaning large. If you were to replace small, medium, and large with your own fun versions, what would the sizes be? Love lots. Kyler from Huntington Beach. Love this question.
Love Cold Stone too.
Yeah. Ugh. I've only been there one time. Is it, what do I get?
Honestly, okay. So you can really go all out. It's about how much like you want to be really full, right? I feel like the key there is like the baked goods. The brownie bites. There's like little brownie bites and they put it on the stone, and then they used to sing to you and they'd throw the ice cream around. I feel like they don't do all that shit anymore, but they like will cut it up, whatever. They'll put the brownie bites in there, cut it up, Reese's cups.
So the Cold Stone keeps everything cold.
Yes.
That's why it's cold.
Stone.
I'm paying attention.
It's beautiful.
How would you change small, medium, large, extra large to your preferences? Or would you?
You know what, honestly, I think it's about the feeling of satisfaction that you get from the size. And, small's like, and then a medium, it's kind of like, right.
Okay.
That large is like, that extra large,
I love this.
And I will say,
I think it makes sense.
I'm a very much but I'm realizing I need to be a little bit more okay with the,
Well, because you could actually see it spelled out too.
Yes, exactly.
You can see it.
That extra large is really stretched.
Right.
But the large, a lot of places is enough, I feel. Now, if it's like a Sprite or a root beer, go ahead and extra large me.
You need it.
But if it's like a lemonade, I'm good with just like a large.
Sure. Have you ever had a diet lemonade, like hot dog on a stick?
Yes.
And how did you feel about that? You couldn't do it.
Yeah, no. It starts to get a little artificially for me, where it starts to feel like something else is replacing what really should be very sweet to the touch. Like, no, I agree.
And so it's almost like if you want the full thing, just get a smaller one.
I mean,
and
don't
feel bad.
What the hell are we getting something that is known to be sugary and sweet and be like, not too much? Just do the damn thing.
What about a hot dog on a stick, the cheese, where it's just like a cheese dog? Do you like that?
Okay. Cheese dog, okay. Honest to God, I had a pickle dog not too long ago, and that
Ooh.
changed everything for me. Huge pickle fan.
So
Huge.
just pickle and breading, or what was in it?
There was dog inside pickle. I don't know how that happened.
Imagine that. That's tight.
But I mean, my God. But it's like, imagine a dog squeezed into, for the visual learners, dog squeezed into pickle with breading sandwiched on top.
And that's like,
That's that size.
Yeah. That's like, you're tearing me.
That's like when you go to the IMAX movies and they're like, bring your own bucket. That size.
Oh, like you can't make any sound in the beginning. It has to be like, oh, like that.
The silence has a sound.
The silence has a sound.
Dot, 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 dot. And then
right.
It's like, there's like a number in there.
Well,
and then
because
it goes
it's like, I'm
the,
going according to your sizing too.
What are you feeling?
Okay,
size-wise?
this is what I'm feeling. Well, I always tell people, like, if I go off on something, like, and I've done my big one, as they say, I call myself the Hog of Death. So I'll say like, oh, I don't even care. I was the Hog of Death. We ordered 2 bowls of chips. I ordered an appetizer and I ordered my meal. Yes, I took half of my meal home, but I went off. I was the Hog of Death. So I feel like it would be like, small would be like, Piggy, like, you're cute. And then there would be just like, medium would be like pig. And then large would be hog, because you're like, you know what? Yeah. I'm big, I'm large, in charge, I'm a hog. If you went extra large, you were the Hog of Death. Now, guess what? My place would have XXL.
Oh, yeah.
That would be the mother of all, the sow of death, the death sow.
For everything. Entrees,
she is
drinks.
The mother of everything.
Okay.
Death sow. I would have a horror movie called Death Sow. And I would star in it.
As the Hog of Death.
I would be the Hog of Death. And it would be called, there would be Hog of Death would be the first movie. Then it would be the prequel to that would come out later. And it would be called Hog of Death, Sow of Death, Mother to All.
That's a mouthful. And
right.
I love it.
It's a lot. Could you see it?
Ring the line. Absolutely.
And there would be like a pig sound, which I wish I could make, but my throat was abused. So I can't do it now, but it would be like, no, I can't really do it. Sweet. I can't say I can't really do it. It was kind of
That's not a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You
it
know that sound
like,
that?
Yes. Hooks. Do you see the hooks?
Yes.
Could you see me with like an apple and like on hooks coming at you with like a person body, but a pig head?
So the hook.
Right. There's no danger because she's thick-skinned. There's no danger. She's
You've
not
got
being...
to be in this industry.
Yeah, you have to be thick-skinned like the sow of death. Those would be my sizes, Kyler. What size are you?
I think Kyler's going to be very satisfied.
I think so. I think it would be fine. Would you, if you went to a Mexican restaurant, would you eat 1 or 2 bowls of chips and salsa?
Oh, absolutely 2. And then actually get a 3rd refill for when you're just chatting at the end. Just in case.
I don't understand why people can't. I hope people are understanding you, because I feel like we might meet in this space where sometimes chips and salsa could just be the meal. I'm fine with it.
Absolutely.
I'm still fine with it.
Absolutely. Because then I think if I get the side taco or just like 2 tacos or whatever, I'm like, I really didn't need that.
No.
Because the chips and salsa did enough for me. Now, are you a believer in the chicken, rice, and cheese ACP fan club?
Tell me what this means.
Oh, gosh. It's a bed of rice.
Okay.
Chicken.
Okay.
Particularly fajita chicken.
Okay.
And then just queso white cheese on top.
I love it.
I've
never ordered it, but I love it.
Sometimes I use that as the dip instead of the salsa.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's my Hog of Death.
Okay.
Oh.
I would go to wherever this is. Actually, I know quite a few places here in LA that would probably just do that for us.
Yeah. It's a very like, I think it's a very like entry level, like, a small town Mexican restaurant meal. But like, oh yeah, I can't deny it. Like, what am I going to say? I have had, honestly, we talk about Arnold Palmer's. I'm a recent thing of cilantro and onion. Used to not be enough for me. It's enough now.
I love it.
Because I don't need the cheese and lettuce and everything. That is one of those things. It's a simple pleasure. It's like,
Right.
God, it's so simple, but I love it.
Like a taco truck.
Yes.
Simple.
Yes.
You know what? So I don't know if one of my favorite things is to go to like a family barbecue, a family gathering, and right around now is when all that's starting back up again because of weather. And no matter what I'm eating, I don't really need a utensil. What I need is a chip.
Yes.
Especially with and the Hog of Death, sow of all, like a tortilla or a tortilla chip or a ruffle to pick up macaroni salad or potato salad or pasta salad. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
It's fine.
I love the scoops that Trader Joe's
Oh
makes.
my God.
Yes, with the little seasoning on it.
Yes.
And yeah, I will dip that in hummus. I will dip that in potato salad. I will dip that in I mean, my God. Sometimes I just put like I've done like relish before. Like have a little like relish. Like
I'm
the-
into
put
it.
that, like little dip in the relish. Like I don't know. I feel like a good scoop or a good chip. Yeah, it's really nice when you have a pile on top.
Mhm. When are you opening your church? Because I would follow.
You know what, honestly,
He believes.
that's what you gotta Chick-fil-A sponsorship.
Yeah. Oh, I love this idea. Yeah, I love, and you know, I've seen so many videos again, and I don't think they're AI, but there are people that go to like coffee shops or whatever, and they're like, no, I don't buy anything. I just use this space to study or whatever. And it's like, these coffee shops only have like 4 tables. Like, can you move? Like, they're really trying to make money. If I go to a restaurant, I want there to be the option for me to say, listen, I do want to take over this table for a while. Charge me out the ass for the chips and salsa, but I really only want chips and salsa. We're going to have drinks. So maybe some people are going to have alcohol. Some are going to have sodas or whatever. I don't want to sit here for free. I want you to make your money.
100%.
But the reality is we're fine with the chips and salsa. Just charge us every time if you have to.
Because they don't know your morals.
Right.
They don't know your value system.
Right.
So they're assuming that
Want
you're
you to make your
just
money.
wasting the table, like whatever. It's like, no, I'm here for you too, but I'm just here for this.
Right. I love Mexican food all day long. Dear Delta and drag queen on the couch.
Oh.
They knew. What are your thoughts on Chat GPT? I have a friend who asks it everything, and I mean everything. She asks it if she should text her boyfriend back, including the dirty talk. I truly do not understand this. You're outsourcing your personality to a robot? Does he know when she says, I can't wait to taste you? That was actually drafted by a machine that also helps middle managers write emails. I'm sorry, but if your man is turned on by something composed between weather updates and Excel formulas, is it even passion anymore? I don't trust AI, but apparently most of America does. Oh, be honest. Are the robots going to kill us? Are they just here to help the girls give mediocre men better erections? Sincerely, very Kimmy. What do you feel?
Honestly, Chat GPT especially is so biased to you that when the girls are asking Chat GPT for advice, she's like, honestly, I'm going to be real with you. I cheated on him. And then Chat GPT gets back and she's like, totally understand. It all happens. In due time, you will find the light. I'm like, what do you mean it all happens? Like and then she puts that dash. She puts that big ass dash, but she's like, totally understood and you're valid. I'm like, okay. So people are just getting their heads full of fucking error from this girl. Like Siri is really trying to like fuck up some relationships. I feel like, no, I don't like her because she's trained on what you want to hear in a lot of ways. I don't like her obviously for environmental reasons. I think we're past the point where people are using it if they want to use it, unfortunately. And it's like using it for your text, using it for your essays, using it for everything. It's crazy because she's so specific to kissing your ass. And she's built for that.
Right.
She was not meant to be a therapist.
No. I don't think I've ever really used that. Like I don't have Siri. We don't have an Alexa at home. We don't have anything like, but what I do use that I wish understood me better was talk to text. I don't know why. And I know that I take a lot of over the river and through the woods when I'm fucking talking, but the punctuation that it puts in and when it decides I'm done with a sentence and have started a new one is so bizarre to me.
It's like it's the boss.
Yeah.
Oh, I 100%. Also, the thing I've noticed, the more we're getting into AI, Siri just got dumber.
Yes.
she used to be able to, you'd say, "Hi Siri, I would like to go out for pizza tonight." And she'd be like, "Here's the top restaurants. Would you like me to order you some pizza?" Maybe I'm making that up. But I swear she was like really committed to it. Where now she's like, "Hi, didn't hear you, correct? What is pizza?"
Yeah, you want pizza? That's good.
Yeah.
You sure you need pizza, Hog of Death?
That's the thing. She's going to start dragging us pretty soon. But no, I agree. In text-to-speech, it decides when the sentence is done. And it's like, I'm pretty sure I'm the user of this phone.
Right.
I'm the boss.
And and listen, I know that there's like a mapping and people say, "Oh, your phone's listening to you." I don't know if it's listening to you in the way that we think it is. Like, I think there's cameras on us all the time. I think everything we do is being documented no matter what. I don't think that's a conspiracy theory. I think it's just a fact. We're living in a technological age. It's just happening.
Together.
So when people say like, "I think the government's doing that," of course. Of course. You walked into 7-Eleven. They can tell if you have a zit on your face or not just by looking at the camera. So
you get that Accutane ad when you leave.
Yeah.
You're like, damn. Like,
right.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you go, "Oh, I was thinking about boots the other day," and then all of a sudden it said boots are on sale. Of course it did, because, it knows where you're shopping and what you're doing. And based on this, that, or the other, you visited a store that already had stuff like that. And it knew that you were, whatever.
Yes.
But I don't understand why then these phones are not able to, at this point, know when I'm trying to spell a word. And it's absolutely, if I'm saying the word remedial, no, I'm not saying Ramadan.
Oh my gosh.
Why are you spelling it when you know what I'm trying to spell? Why are you going, "Oh, you mean this?" No, I don't mean that.
Yep.
You knew what I fucking meant. Why wouldn't you give me the one that's only one letter off instead of one that's completely different? In that sense, when I see that, I'm like, they're trying to set up text messages to make me look crazy so they can use this later.
Oh, that's not too far-fetched. I
kind
really
of think that's true.
Well, and when you start doing the text-to-speech and she starts getting it wrong, and then you start cussing her out while and then it shows it in the text. That's my favorite thing. It's like, "No, please delete that, you hog." And then it's like, it shows up, boo, 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 boo. Like, it's like, girl.
Right.
She does that. She knows when to like not listen, and then the times that she's not supposed to listen, she types it. It's just like, oh my gosh.
She knows when you're sleeping.
I've got an issue with CarPlay too.
She knows when you're awake.
Yeah.
I don't see that. I don't even know how to connect my shit to that, and I don't want to.
Oh, this LA traffic, you crash the damn car. It's like, because she disconnects mid-route.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then she'll read the text out loud, and then she'll disconnect, and you can't see the maps anymore. It's just like, yeah, they're out to get us.
Well, and also, like, do we really want everyone in the car, even just one other person, knowing who's texting you and what they're texting you about? Because we go back to that situation where you have like maybe 4 different people that you're currently texting. One is in a very professional setting. One is about a project that you may or may not want to be working on. One could be about an appointment. You're trying to make a new eye doctor appointment. And then the other one is your friend that you send horrific memes to.
Yeah.
And these texts are coming through. And then you're like, "Yeah, send this or send that." And then people are like, "What kind of conversations are you having?"
Well, then she reads out, "Jack in the Box rewards just texted you." And then it's like, it's a discussion for the whole car. It's like, why are you a member of that? But you see they make matcha now?
I did see, I've never had matcha in my whole life.
Oh.
Is it good?
Well, hell, don't start at Jack in the Box.
Don't start at Well, I think you're probably right. What does it taste like?
Matcha? Good matcha to me has like a natural sweetness in the way that you would imagine like water on like blades of grass is. It's so like nature's sweetness, nature's dew. But it's like very good. But I've had matcha before where it tasted like, have you played Bean Boozled before?
Yes.
The blades of grass.
Yes.
Bean Boozled. Yeah.
It
I
tastes
just
like
grass
that.
clippings, Bean Boozled. Yeah. It's very like, no, honestly, matcha's really good. You can add a ton of flavors to it. It like turns it around. I get
What
a
is
strawberry
the
matcha.
reason for matcha? Is it like something that's very healthy, so you're eating it or drinking it because it's healthy? Or it's just a thing?
I'm not well versed in the matcha health science. I know it's like another caffeine source because a lot of girls can't do coffee. But I'm like, I feel like, is matcha more caffeinated than coffee?
Is it beans? Matcha. So yeah, I would think I probably wouldn't want to start it at Jack in the Box. You're
No.
probably right about that.
There's a lot of really good ones. So they'll have like a strawberry cream on top and everything. Oh, yeah, they're good. But I don't know
Matcha.
why, it's like Taco Bell doing coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really shocked, the nerve,
Right.
quite frankly, that a lot of these places are doing. It's just like, I get like having a Mountain Dew collab, but like we're going to do Cinnabon coffee at Taco Bell and matcha at Jack in the Box is just
Right.
like, wow.
I think all iced coffee should come Sow of Death size. It needs to be huge.
Last the whole day.
It needs to be huge.
Can you fly through a coffee quick?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Does it affect you?
I don't know. I don't think so. Because I can drink caffeine really late and still go to bed, like immediately.
Thank you. ADHD truthers, like
Yeah.
for real.
It doesn't, I don't think it affects me. But I don't have a very sensitive gauge when it comes to something being too rich. So what I mean by that is like, you know, when people go, oh, this cheesecake is so rich, you only need the tiniest piece. No, I don't. I can have a wedge. I can have a piece of that. I'll tell you this. I do like to even put butter in the rice cooker when I'm making rice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does it fuck up the cooker?
I hope not. Thank you for being here.
No, absolutely.
This is so fun.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
appreciate it.
This was like literally a highlight of the trip.
Today on Very Delta, we learned that even he thanks you. We'll see you next week, and until then, keep things very Delta. Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, aka Mom. Hosted by Delta Work. Produced and edited by Doug Robertson. Technical direction by Antonio Picone, with original theme music by Will Pitts. Media and design support by Stone Cold. And set design by Eris Sevilla. Executive produced by Alaska, Willem, Big Dipper, Camille Stennis, and Joe Cilio. Recorded at Forever Dog Productions. Dude, the one bubble. The one fucking bubble.
Mom!
Watch Very Delta uncensored, ad-free, and a day early by subscribing to Mom Plus Gold. Sign up today at mompodcast.plus for premium content, including weekly episodes of more Very Delta.